This is Riley from Power Trip, and Metal-O-Mania kicks ass.
And speaking of great bands, I do believe we have one of them on the line with us right now. Are we connected? Are we talking with Riley from Power Trip, sir?
Hello.
Hey, how you, my brother?
How's it going, fellas?
Doing good, man.
We're figuring it out, man. We're doing the metal thing, figuring it out on the fly. But I'll tell you
tape
what,
and bubble gum, baby.
we're excited as hell to have you guys on the show.
That's the way to do it.
Talk to me about Nightmare Logic, man. That comes out this Friday, right?
It sure does.
Kick
We're
ass.
in the less than 48-hour countdown, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got to ask you,
Well, you know, a lot of people got their pre-orders in. The record leaked to the internet, which is fine with me. I don't give a shit. Go download it. Go steal it. Doesn't matter to me.
Just listen to it, damn it.
But yeah, just listen to it. Damn it, exactly.
Right.
But it's officially, I guess, in stores or something like that. I don't know what that means, but yeah, it's out there.
Right.
Come Friday.
In stores.
I love dude. He's like, look, man, I make the music. Fuck that business question shit. Well, let me tell you,
Yeah,
man.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Do you guys have nerves when your albums get ready to come out like that? What's it like, amongst the band themselves? Are you guys like, oh man, you're a
You
little
guys got to
nervous,
be
or
pumped. Yeah, you got to be pumped.
pumped, or
Yeah, we're really excited. I mean, it's been nearly 3.5 years since our first LP came out, and that got like a lot of really good coverage. People really took to that album, and I really, obviously, loved that.
Yeah.
And so I'm really glad that we have this album coming out. It just took quite a long time to come out, and so now that it's finally out, I'm pretty damn excited. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, I've heard of it so far, man. I cannot wait for it. I pre-ordered it myself, so it'll be in my mailbox on Friday. So
Oh, thank you.
I am looking forward to it.
Very kind of you.
Well, I tell you, man, we are. That's
Sweetheart.
But we're big on that here at Metal-O-Mania. If we like the band, we want to buy your record, man. We want to make sure you get your credit and where it deserves.
Sure, and that's my thing when I'm telling people, if it's leaked, people are gonna download and steal music or whatever. They're gonna do that.
Yep.
People are gonna buy records and support bands. They're gonna do that.
Yep.
There's nothing really you can do to stop. I think the only bummer is that the little hype bubble gets burst.
Absolutely.
That's really the only thing. But you know what? It's not the end of the world if that happens.
Right.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, they're going to be excited when they get it. They should buy the goddamn thing because it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
If you like it and you have passion for the art, buy the fucking art.
Yeah, but we live in strange times, my friend.
No good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why we try and go, the extra mile to make something that looks, visually appealing. Like an album cover that you kind of want to stick on your shelf for people to see and show off. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I'm still big on that. I want an album to put in my hand. I want to hold it and look through it. Digital copies aren't cool.
I can't believe you haven't gotten your pre-order yet. I'm gonna have to set an order.
I went through Amazon. It told me it'll be on my mailbox on Friday when I looked at it earlier today. So.
Okay. I think maybe it must have been a more direct thing, but they certainly had a lot of kids getting their stuff as early as last week. So.
Right. Well, I know the songs that are available right now. I guess I don't know, how you guys go about releasing them, but I know the one we're going to play tonight is out, and I believe you just finished doing a video for that, correct?
We just filmed a video for Executioner's Tax, which was the second. I wouldn't call them singles because I don't think that they are. I think that in the context of the album is where it is best. We really tried hard to write an album that is not something that just has a couple good songs,
right?
Something that's good all
just random
through.
Singles, right?
And so so I mean, I guess you could call them a single or whatever. We've never done a video before, but a lot of people are really pushing us to do one this time, and so we got some cool ideas, and we locked down a really, really cool director who's worked with some really kind of badass artists. This guy had no business working with us. He had worked with Bon Jovi, Alanis Morissette. He was on the Nirvana Nevermind tour in Australia.
Wow.
He was an Australian guy. His name's Joel, and he was awesome. Kind of a dick, which was really funny.
Yeah.
He had an ongoing joke every time our guitar player would suggest something about the video. He would be like, "Oh, the director's here. The director's finally here."
Oh.
So like, he was a good guy. It was a lot of fun working with him, and we did this show that was a free show, and then we took donations at the door that went to Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, I
raised
saw
over
that.
$1,000.
Wow.
Which was really cool,
Very
some
cool.
people called us baby killers, and that's fine. That seems pretty metal to me if you're going to call them
Yeah,
a baby killer.
Baby killer? Yeah.
But, yeah, and it was good, but I ended up taking them to like a punk show at a house down the street after our show that was going on a little later, and I could tell he had never been to a house show before. So it was really cool, kind of opening this guy's eyes up. He was filming everything. It was just like, so people just come out here and hang out and drink, and then they have a show in a basement? And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much, you got it.
Right. That's how we grew up right there.
That was our first concert.
That's right. That's the life of a metalhead right there, brother.
DIY, yep.
Yeah, I mean, it was a basement we used to play in.
Mm-hmm.
It was this place called the Lions Den, and it was really cool. And we tried to do the show there, but some of the kids who were living there were just kind of being snobby little punks about the whole thing. So we said, that's fine. We don't need you guys. So we'll go do this thing somewhere else. But yeah, we shot this video, and we went out into a field and kind of did like a Texas-style hangout with a bonfire. And
oh, cool.
we brought some guns, and which is pretty funny because like half the band is terrified of guns. So it's like kind of funny that we're like out there shooting guns and shit. And I had a really good time. We like blew up this TV, this really nice TV, and probably burnt a hole in the ozone layer, something like that. I don't know.
Those are kick-ass perks to the job you don't think about when you pick up the guitars and shit, isn't it?
That's right.
Being able to one day blow up a fucking TV for a video, that's good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we had no budget. We couldn't do anything too crazy.
Right.
We wanted to. I have a bunch of crazy ideas in my head, but I couldn't.
Well, that's
blow
why
shit up for cheap.
So we did. We worked with what we had.
Yeah, we got to make Nightmare Logic blow up. That way, by the time you roll around with the next album, you got big budget stuff going on. Let me talk to you a little bit
about video.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me talk to you a little bit about the new album, though. Something I particularly love about Power Trip is I feel that you got punk roots in there somewhere. It's a thrash feel, but I feel the punk roots in there, man. Tell us a little bit about your influences and, what made you want to start rocking and rolling.
I mean, if we're gonna go the way back to the like 7th, 8th grade realm, I had a cousin who was a little bit older than me, and he was living in Southern California, so he was into a lot of like riding dirt bikes and shit like that.
Nice.
And so he was getting into like a lot of that like SoCal skate rock shit, like Strung Out and Pennywise and stuff like that. And
awesome.
so that was and Bad Religion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's where I first started hearing.
Oh shit, yeah.
That's where I first started hearing punk music, and I was like, this is crazy. I love this. And that was where I started to really
Pennywise
get into it. And I came up like when I really started like getting into music, I was mostly into that sort of kind of weird end of like 90s punk, a lot of the Fat Wreck, Epitaph stuff.
Right.
And I'm 13 at the time. And then, as I went through high school, I started progressing into some other things, like you start hearing the term hardcore thrown around, and it's like, well, what is that? What's that? And then people are like, oh, well, hardcore is like Bad Brains and Gorilla Biscuits, and I'm like, oh, I just thought those were other punk bands. Like, I didn't know that there was there was a time where I thought like Minor Threat and Youth of Today were just weird punk bands, like just with a weird aesthetic.
Gotcha.
I didn't realize there was this whole other scene. And I always like had metal bands I liked. I had a childhood friend that I used to like run around the neighborhood with and play like cops and robbers or whatever the fuck we used to do.
Right on.
And he had an older brother who was like probably, I guess if I had to try and figure it out, he was probably like a freshman in high school at the time. And he was into metal. And so I would hear stuff like, I would hear all the early Metallica records, Slayer, Sepultura, stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And one time I heard this, his door was closed, and I never got to ask him what this was, but I heard this insane music coming out of there. And it sounded way crazier than any of the other metal that he had sort of played. It was like super abrasive and fast and just like, it was, you know, like I think everyone's got this moment where they hear a band and it sort of just melts their brain, like the concept of what like music can be. Well, like 10 years later, I figured out what band it was, and it was Napalm Death.
Nice.
He had been listening. I heard the song, I heard the riff, and I believe it was one of the riffs off of Scum, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
but I
dude.
just heard it when I was getting into Napalm Death around like 17, 18, and like I've never been like a rabid grindcore Napalm Death fan, but they're like obviously have like some massive sick stuff. But like
dude.
I was like listening to them, and this moment just clicked where I was like, holy shit, I had heard this when I was like a fucking little like a 10-year-old turd running around, you know? So like.
It set the hook on you 10 years
so
earlier,
it was
right?
sort of like it was sort of like I had been hearing extreme music from a young age from my friend's older brother, but when I started getting into it myself, I was more on the punk end of things, and it's just something where I've just always liked. I've just had that broad appeal or a broad appreciation for all that music, and so like, I mean, dude, when you listen to shit like the Cro-Mags or Sacrilege,
Fuck
or like,
yeah.
you know, Discharge, stuff that is like rooted in punk, you know, like you can hear. I mean, just fucking take Motorhead. Motorhead was such a punk band, but they were so bigger in life and like rock and roll and everything like that, and it just kind of like
roller coastered into its own thing.
Oh, sure,
gave me the idea of like I don't need to have a specific sound or sit on a certain we don't have to sound a certain way. And when we started the band, we were more into like when I started the band, the idea is I just wanted to do kind of like a New York hardcore band that was like influenced by some of those crossover bands that were out of that scene, you know, like, you know, Nuclear Assault with like,
dude, you're talking that's my area. Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, baby, yeah, we could go all day, but
Fuck yeah.
I love Leeway, I love Chrono,
Leeway, now you're
I love
talking,
fucking
dude.
Dynamo, I love fucking, I mean, New York hardcore is my shit.
That is absolutely my shit, dude. You and I should talk.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to jump in here real quick.
Yeah, I mean.
What I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to give credit to Renetti Walker, and I hope I'm saying that, Renetti Walker for Renetti Winter for the badass Power Trip picture that we're showing you guys while we're talking to our man Riley here.
Oh, Renate
Winter.
Yeah, Renate. She's Swedish. Yeah, she's great.
Awesome.
Shout out to Renate. She's
Does good band pictures too, man. We need to get her in here to take pictures of us. But I'll tell you what, Riley.
I hate the promo picture thing, but yeah.
Right, it's part of the prop.
It's necessary evil.
Part of the necessary evil. That's right. Just like hanging out with us. You probably didn't want to hang out with us, but you know, it's a necessary evil. Get the word out. But I'll tell you what, Riley. Can you hang with us for a second? What I'd like to do is play your song for the people, and come back and talk to you for another minute or two, and then we'll let you get on with your evening if that's cool, sir.
Yeah, hell yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Because I'm sure many of our fans are knowledgeable metalheads, so they are going to know your jam. But for those who don't, we want to turn them on right now to what we're talking about here, because, man, Power Trip, one of my new favorite things in the world.
I see you in another life, brother.
see, he's the man. Let me hear you applaud. He is more than a man. He's a shiny golden god.
That's some good shit, man.
We
Fucking
still,
awesome.
We still got you with us, Riley?
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh,
Awesome,
good,
awesome.
good.
Dude, that song just straight badass, my friend. Fantastic fucking badass. Man, you know, the scene, back me up on this, Riley. I am telling everybody who will listen to me these days that the metal scene is back on fire.
Yeah, you guys are out there doing it and seeing it, man. What's your
Right.
perspective?
You know, I think there is, and I don't mean to knock any of the older bands around, but I think it is time for some of these older guys to get out of the fucking way and give some of the newer bands an opportunity. You know, I'm not going to name any names, but there's a lot of bands that will. There's a lot of bands that'll bring out younger bands and give them $100 a night, you know, and it's for the honor of opening up for so and so band, and like. That's great. I understand that these guys are older and they've got mortgages to pay and shit like that, but it's like, you know, how are we supposed to get ours if we can never get off the ground? So for a long time, we held out on doing big tours, big metal tours and stuff like that because of the money. I hate to say it, but it's like I'm 30 now and I can't leave my house if I'm not going to come home and pay rent.
Gotta pay a bill.
Absolutely.
And
Gotta
all
pay
that
a
shit
bill.
afterwards, you
Yeah,
know?
man, shit. Gas, food.
So, you know, like our first big one was that Anthrax Lamb of God tour last year, and that was one that really opened me up to saying, okay, we can do this full time, that kind of thing. We can make this work and keep pushing ourselves and get a bigger audience. You know, I saw that there was this broad appeal sort of for our band, and I think that there's a lot of younger bands and who are doing a lot of different styles that are really like
Exciting.
making headway and becoming, you know, the sort of the term sort of I guess floating around right now is the new legacy bands,
Right.
the bands that'll sort of you know get a fan base that will stay loyal to them for the next 20, 30 years or whatever.
The next generation.
And that's really important. It's really important. It's cool though because we go out and we play shows and we have kids who are 16 and loving it. We've got guys who are 46 and loving it. And that just shows me that we're kind of doing the right thing.
Well, you know, I've often heard it referred to as the new wave of old school metal. And I kind of like that. It's a new
wave of old school metal.
Yeah. And
progression through regression.
There you go. Perfect. Exactly right. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
and it is.
I mean, that's
guys like you are picking. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You know what? I think for a long time, this was metal's problem. A lot of metal bands forgot how to write a fucking tune.
No.
They forgot how to fucking write a catchy tune that people were down with.
Dude, you nailed it.
That didn't have some overly complicated,
like how many fucking bands do you see out there nowadays that are doing 8-finger tapping the whole fucking song?
Right.
And it's like you got a singer singing in falsetto.
I like. Look, that shit is cool.
It's
That's
cool,
great.
but too much is too much. It's like every fucking song.
Yeah,
it's like arpeggios and shit.
Yeah, man. You know, that's one of the things that I think people are starting to miss.
It's not as musical.
That they can remember and catch on to it. Like, we call it like guitar center metal. It's the guys who play guitar who are only really impressed. You know, it's like I could watch that and be like, damn, that dude's fucking shred. But it's like, where's the songwriting?
Exactly.
But I don't want to hear stuff.
What's gonna get stuck in my craw about, you know, like that song or whatever. And that was cool. You know, a band that I think does a pretty cool balance with that is I really enjoyed touring with Black Dahlia Murder.
Oh, cool.
Last year because we didn't really that's a band I never really listened to, but Trevor had really supported the band from early on. But watching that dude Brandon who plays guitar for him, that guy is a fucking monster. Dude. He is crazy good, and I was like. And it's awesome because he's got this swagger, like he's got the biggest dick in the room, and he fucking knows it, kind of shit. And when he plays guitar, and I was like, that's cool. If I'm gonna watch a guy go crazy on guitar, I want you to have that Eddie Van Halen kind of swagger to you.
That's how I feel about Govan. Guthrie Govan is one of those cats that hits me like that.
You're the center of the room before you even start playing the guitar. You know what I mean? You've already dominated the room, and you haven't picked a string yet.
Yeah, That's cool.
That's
yeah,
cool,
but the
brother.
sort of like the really like technical, over the top jazzy metal stuff. I don't play any instruments, so it's like that's not. I can respect it, but it's just not something
Exactly.
that appeals
Right,
to me.
but
So
you're
when
not
I
going to
did-
play it over and
when we
over
did
again.
Well, that's one point. Like Animals as Leaders does that. They're fucking name one song off the top of your head. No disrespect to them because their skills are through the roof.
But yeah,
But when
not
it comes
memorable
down, like
songs.
you said, when you have a memorable hook in your head, and now granted they don't have a vocalist, but I don't want to hear 1,000 notes. I want to hear a fucking good fucking song.
Right.
You know that grabs me and catches me. Yeah. Songwriting is everything
from
now.
Like, from the beginning, we were really focused on just a riff,
Sure.
kinda. And it was like I said, it was more New York hardcore crossover because we were younger and we couldn't really play, the more complicated metal stuff. And as we've gotten our chops up, it's like we didn't want to lose any good songwriting to it. Kids seem to like my lyrics and learn the songs and come to shows and sing along. It's like I don't want to lose that aspect of the band to take
Absolutely.
a backseat to some like over the top riff, But so we have a really good balance between, my like trying to do something catchy but still is like not easy to play. Like we play pretty fucking fast, and I see I look over like after a song and I see. Nick and Blake shaking their wrists out and shit. From,
Yeah, getting the blood flowing again.
Kicking so hard and stuff like that.
Wiping the blood off
and
their
that's
fingertips.
good. That's good.
Yeah,
Play
that's
fast
awesome.
die.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friend, can you give our followers a tip on where they can follow your band and know where you're going to be at all times and be able to stay on track of Power Trip and where to buy the new record?
Yeah, we've got a Facebook and a Twitter and an Instagram and I'm pretty accessible as a person. I try to stay close to people. It's hard. I'm not always the best, but like I try to respond to people if they do message me. And I think it's one of those things where you can just kind of just use your Google skills and you can find us.
Right. Cool. Get out your Google machine and Power Trip it.
Well, I'm gonna friend you up, dude, so we can
we're
talk
on
about some
iTunes,
hardcore.
We're on Yeah, we're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, we're on all that bullshit. So we're like you said, we're just trying to get in as many ears as possible.
That's what it's all about, brother. Well, yeah, I'll tell you what, we're going to help continue to do that, my friend. We're putting you on our friends list. We hooked up on Facebook. We are going to get you guys hopefully in here at another time. But you guys are on tour with Iron Reagan right now? Is that correct?
Well, Friday it starts, but yes.
Nice.
Awesome.
We'll be on tour with Iron Reagan.
Another fantastic band. So that's a great show. That's it right there.
That's a gig.
Yeah, no kidding. That's been a cool band to watch. That's been a good band to grow with. Those are some of our best friends in the world.
Oh, man.
And before they even started, Tony was really supportive of Power Trip, and he was like, I'm starting a crossover band, trying to take it back a little. And I was like, that's fucking great. So like I got to hear the EP before anybody else, and it's been great watching them sort of grow as a band and doing tours with them too. I mean, we just get along so great with those guys.
That's great.
Yeah, they seem like real good dudes.
They're awesome.
We're trying to get them on the show actually sometime soon as well. They're from our backyard. They're from Richmond, Virginia. So we're
some of them. Tony, and I think Ryan. I think is from DC.
Oh, cool.
But Mark is from New Jersey, and I think they're about like a couple. They're like two of the guys are from Richmond. You're right. Yeah, they're in your area. Yeah, they're East Coasters.
And you will be soon too, right? March 1st, Baltimore Soundstage. You will be there, right? March 1st.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the Soundstage.
Me too, brother. Me too. Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna be there too. Let's go. We're going.
Is Sam Cheney still doing that?
I think so.
Sam's still doing that?
We got a buddy who works at that joint. So man, we're gonna come check you guys out, brother. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to shake your hand, my friend.
Yeah, of course. First round's on me.
Awesome. Well, now I'm definitely there, brother. You just sold me.
We'll talk hardcore, dude.
All right, brother.
I love talking hardcore, man.
I love it.
Well, Riley, I really appreciate you hanging out with us tonight, man.
Real deep on the We'll get real deep on the New York hardcore.
Oh,
yeah,
now
dude.
we're talking, brother. We can do that for hours.
Bulldoze.
That's right. I'll stand back and let you.
25 to life.
Yeah, 25 to life.
Now, I've seen 25 to Life. That was not a band where I could have really jammed their records, but if Rick to Life was going to come into town, you got to go see them.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, my old band used to play with them in a fucking high school gym, dude. Yeah, old
Crazy.
school. Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to let Bongwood and Riley keep talking. While they do that, we're going to, I know, we're way over on time.
Who cares?
But, Riley, I really appreciate you hanging out with us, man. I really do. I can't tell you how much we are big fans of
guys.
you. And the new album, man, when I've heard of it, can't wait to hear the rest.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey,
have a good one, dude.
Thanks for coming on, brother. We'll talk again soon, and
Adios.
I'll see you at Baltimore on March 1st, too. Oh, did we lose? Oh, no. No doubt, man. Good fucking dude, man.